Hey guys, welcome back, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the biggest news in the WRC since... Well, I was going to say Volkswagen's departure, but then since then we've ended up with Jari-Matti and Ogier securing drives with other teams, Mikkelsen not getting a drive, then all of a sudden Mikkelsen did have a drive, and then he had a full-time drive, and then we ended up with Chris Meek being kicked out and Osberg coming back in, and it's been hectic, hasn't it? Well, there's massive news today. Sebastien Ogier is going to be going back to Citroën for 2019, and in a multi-year deal, I believe, that was likely going to be his last one in the WRC. That's something he's been saying himself. I mean, that's fair enough for him. He's been, he had a career before WRC. He might want to go into looking at something else, maybe even returning back to skiing later on, but it's fair enough. He's been in the sport for, what, about a decade now, and he's still at the top of his game. But what it's done now, Ogier's move back to Citroën has opened up the driver market, because not because it wasn't going to be a very open silly season anyway, but because it's interesting to see how this will all unfold. Because what we were looking at was Jari-Matti not announcing until Rally GB, which is next week. So that fella could potentially be going back to Ford, doing something like Ogier is, going back to the team where he began, maybe looking to retire. Of course, it would be a shame to see both of them going out of the sport, but they're still at the top of their game, and they could go off and do new amazing things. They could go into World RX, they could do this, that, or the other. But that's possibly the only reason why Jari-Matti's been holding off so long. I would love to see him stay at Toyota though. I really would. However, what might be interesting now is, because Citroën are rumoured to be trying to poach Lappi from Toyota, if Latvala goes back to Ford, who will be at Toyota? I'd say potentially Mads Ostberg, because he carries a bit of sponsorship money, and he's also in amazing form. So if Latvala leaves Toyota, Osberg will go there. If not, and Osberg doesn't stay at Citroën, Osberg would probably go to Ford. Because I'm just presuming at this point Citroën will be keeping Craig Breen. I'm going to say this, I am making that presumption, because he's a solid driver, lovely guy, brilliant character, and why would you sack him? He's got great form. And if he didn't get a driver at Citroën, he might get one at Ford, but I don't know. I think Citroën are keeping him. I just have that gut feeling. But Toyota would likely, if they didn't have Latvala, get Osberg. And then for that third car, if Lappi was to go to Citroën. I'm not too sure. Remember, Citroën are running 2 cars this year. They potentially go back up to 3. Which means that everyone in the WRC current service park would be able to be having a drive. But then outside of that, we have Kalle Rovanperä potentially going into the Toyota seat. And we have Chris Meek looking to get back in. So as much as it looks like, oh, everyone might have a full-time drive next year, you might see people coming out of the sport altogether. Which would be a massive shame. The Hyundai drivers might be looking at a full-time drive. Sordo could go back to Citroën. I'd be surprised if Padden went somewhere else in the service park. But I could see Hyundai keeping the same lineup again next year as they've had this year. I don't think Hootenen's ready for WRC yet. I think he's probably got another season or 2 left in it before he's going to start making appearances in the top flight. But I think Rovanperä, he could be ready. He could be ready right now to just jump in a World Rally car, set some times and go back off, or just appear at select events. I know there are rumours that Marcus Gronholm might return to the WRC for a one-off at Sweden in the Toyota. It's a very interesting driver market. This is what I'm thinking right now. It's either Latvala or Osberg and Ford. The other one is probably going to be at Toyota. I think Craig Breen will stay at Citroën. And for the third driver at Citroën, the rumours for EP were quite strong. But then I wouldn't be surprised if Toyota tried their best to keep him as well. Meek would potentially go into the Toyota, because I've seen Macklin's been talking a bit more about Chris Meek if Lappy is to leave for Citroën. I'm not too sure if Citroën would want to bring back Chris Meek, but he is still under contract with them. He's just been dropped from the WRC lineup. Sordo could potentially go to Citroën, but I believe that he's going to look at staying at Hyundai, and so is Patton. And for the other two M Sport drivers, Tamu and Elfin, their best chance of staying in sport is staying with M Sport. And as much as it would be amazing for Elfin to be a lead driver, he's been playing all his cards right this season. I think Malcolm Wilson's going to be looking for somebody like Jari Mate, someone like Mads, to lead the team. And Tamu, he's been showing so much phenomenal pace, but he still has probably about a season to go until he starts winning events. I reckon come the end of next season he'll be winning. And come the start of next season he'll be fighting for the podium the whole way. But that's my thoughts. If you have any other thoughts, leave them down in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see another video I did on the WRC driver market where I was talking about the potential for Ogier, you can also check that out down below. And I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.